Search continues for Buimo escapees on the run. Correctional Services Commissioner announces start of investigation. And human trafficking on the rise in Papua New Guinea.
This is National EMTV News with Meriba Tulo.
Hello and welcome. This is Friday's news. Thank you for joining us. Over the past 24 hours, EMTV News and EMTV Online have been following developments in Lae relating to the mass prison breakout that happened yesterday afternoon at Buimo jail. So far, 12 prisoners have been shot dead and 17 others wounded and recaptured in a swift and severe response by police and correctional service officers in Lae City. Our crime reporter in Lae, Martha Lewis, with an update.
Details at present are still sketchy and we do not know how many escaped. Buimo administration is yet to confirm the total number of escapees. From reports, up to 90 prisoners escaped yesterday. Some attacked and injured 2 CS officers who were on duty during the breakout. Lae Metropolitan Commander Anthony Wagambi Jr. confirmed that 12 prisoners were shot yesterday. 17 others are wounded and recaptured. Wagambi said overcrowding of remadis and a need for better perimeter fencing may be the cause for the breakout. Late yesterday afternoon, police searched West Taraka and the neighboring suburbs. These are the possible escape routes. Community leaders are also assisting police in recapturing some of the escapees. Just before 7 p.m. last night, a convoy of police and CS vehicles brought the bodies of the 11 prisoners to the Angau Hospital morgue. The 17 wounded prisoners were taken to the accident and emergency wing of the hospital under heavy guard. Angau General Hospital put out a public notice restricting visits to the hospital until further notice. All media personnel have also been banned from taking any pictures within the hospital grounds. Buimo prison has been the subject of much controversy since 2012. There are a high number of young men in their 20s who are held in remand for long periods without any immediate hope of speedy trials. There are also concerns raised by prisoners that have centered on abuse by prison officers and the general treatment of prisoners. This is the second major breakout in 2 years. Last year, 55 prisoners escaped from Buimo in a breakout. Martha Lewis, National EMTV News, Lae.
Lae Metropolitan Superintendent Anthony Wagambi Jr. confirmed late this afternoon that 10 of the prisoners killed were remandees being held for serious crimes including rape, murder and armed robbery. 2 others were convicted prisoners serving time. Wagambi said one of those shot was serving time for the Black Cat trial killings of 2013, where a tourist and several porters were brutally attacked. Wagambi is now urging the prisoners on the run to contact him directly and surrender.
Okay, for police now, we are calling on the general public to cooperate with us. If you have any information of people who have escaped from prison yesterday, will come out us there. Got any information, come forward and ask the police and give us the information so we can go and we can have these people arrested and brought into custody.
Correctional Service Acting Commissioner Bernard Nepo says investigations into the Buimo jail breakout will start tomorrow. Today, he suspended Buimo jail commander Joe Jacko to allow the investigation to proceed. A new commander will take up the post in Buimo and lead the investigations. Quinton Alomp reports.
Acting Commissioner Bernard Nepo says the investigation will take less than a fortnight. He says the terms of reference for the investigation has been set up and it will start tomorrow. Today he suspended the Buimo jail commander and appointed a new commander who will take office effective tomorrow.
The commander who has been there has been suspended effective as of today. So I also have an investigating team from headquarters flying to Lae tomorrow early in the morning with police detectives who will be on the ground so that there is fair investigation and reporting. Felix Namane, who is currently the commanding officer at BIB.
He said the incident is unfortunate, but he took it as a challenge. The acting commissioner urged lay residents to cooperate with police, CS and community leaders to report any suspected new faces.
So I can assure the public now that the issue at Buimo is under control with police reinforcement with the CIS officers from other islands and moving into Ley. I have made decision now with the appointment of a new commander who will restore the normalcy at the institution. That commanding officer will resume effective of tomorrow.
Yesterday afternoon, 94 prisoners escaped from Buimo jail. Joint operations from police and CS officers resulted in the capture of 30 escapees. 12 escapees have been shot dead and 52 are still at large. This was the largest number of escapees shot and killed from any one breakouts. Quinten Alom, National EMTV News.
Meanwhile, Police Commissioner Gary Baki says he is satisfied with the response from lay police on the mass breakout yesterday. Commissioner Baki says all disciplinary forces must work together to prevent such issues happening again in the future as the country moves in to host major international events in the coming months.
I'm satisfied with the response from the Metropolitan Commander in Ley yesterday to support the jail commander in Buimo. So we're doing our best. The only issue is this: there are a lot of international events that are coming up now. So we need to be more conscious about our own jails to make sure that prisoners are kept inbound rather than being allowed to trail outside, which gives us a lot of responsibility to try and to look for them. So it's draining on our resources.
To other news now, and in its first year as a listed entity, banking and wealth management company Kina Securities has announced a profit for the year ending 31st December 2015. The company released its full-year results, an impressive net profit of 47.5 million Kina, far exceeding its forecast. The results for the year ending 31st December 2015 were released to the Port Moresby and Australian stock exchanges this week. In light of the profit realised, the directors of Kina also announced a dividend payment of 34 Australian cents per share, equivalent to around 76 toya per share. According to Kina, these results reflected the success of Kina's transformational 349 million Kina acquisition of Maybank PNG business in September 2015, creating a new financial service powerhouse by providing a solid platform for the merged group to pursue its ambitious growth targets in the rapidly maturing PNG market. This merger firmly established Kina as the fourth largest bank in PNG, with lending assets valued at 374 million Kina and deposits of more than 680 million Kina. Kina says the focus for the current year will be to extract the maximum benefits from the Maybank merger through seizing opportunities for sales to new and existing customers, increasing investment portfolio returns and reducing funding costs. The bank remains well placed to deliver steady growth in operating results in 2016. You're watching National EMTV News. Men's body found in leys around Wara and human trafficking on the rise in Papua New Guinea. We'll have those stories and more when we come back. Welcome back to National EMTV News. The body of a man was discovered at Lays Roundwara this morning, the second in a space of 2 years. A young boy found the dead body in the water when he was about to dive into the lake for a swim. He then alerted residents living within the vicinity, who then told police. The body had what appeared to be a stab wound on the neck. A police investigation will establish what happened to him. So far, no one has come forward to identify the deceased. The body was taken to the Anga Hospital morgue. Human trafficking is on the increase in Papua New Guinea. The International Organization of Migration and the Royal Papua New Guinea Constabulary signed a memorandum of understanding today to address this issue. The IOM, who are experts in counter-trafficking and human security, confirmed that so far they have helped 30 victims of human trafficking in Papua New Guinea.
Most of the activities of human trafficking occur in Port Moresby and the borders of PNG. Many of the incidents include teenage girls and young women who were abducted for labor and prostitution. Police Commissioner Gary Bucky confirmed that a suspect was arrested for transporting some women in Port Moresby and brought them to Chimbu for prostitution purpose. The matter is still under investigation.
That gives to show that this it's come alive to us now that these activities taking place that we need to be on top of. So the signing of this MOU gives us an opportunity now be more responsible for them and deal with them as they come up.
IOM confirmed that there have been cases of women exploited to work on boats and ships that have been intercepted in PNG waters to go overseas. However, they could not categorize the case before because the law to criminalize human trafficking was only passed in 2013. IOM Chief of Mission to PNG, George Gigauri, said more victims will be found if more effort is put shown by authorities.
So again, it's just the tip of an iceberg, and the more we work and the more victims we identify, and by we I mean of course us, police, Department of Justice, the higher that number will go up.
The signing of the MOA was a recognition of the partnership they had years ago. IOM has been assisting RPNGC for over 6 years, mainly focusing on counter-trafficking, victim identification and referral, criminalization and prosecution, counter-smuggling, search and rescue of victims, tribal conflict management and rights advocacy.
So IOM, International Organization for Migration, and the police, we work on a number of very important issues. One of them is counter-trafficking in human beings. We together work to combat all forms of labor exploitation, domestic servitude and sexual exploitations. So we try to assist the victims as well as build the capacity of the government to prosecute them.
Meanwhile, Commissioner Baki said more focus will be on border areas as part of their preparation in lead-up to upcoming international events. He said movements are taking place every day, but they are not accountable for it. Vasinata Yama, National EMTV News.
Police Commissioner Gary Baki has advised his top cops, former NCD Metropolitan Superintendent Andy Bauer and his successor Benjamin Turi, to refrain from arguing publicly. Baki also said he does not want the public to think that allegations raised in the media are factual. He said it is an internal matter and that there are processes that the constabulary needs to follow to deal with. Meanwhile, he explained that Bauer did not move to his new post up in the Highlands region and his deputy, Jimmy Onopia, was promoted to Bauer's post.
My view is it should not translate out into the public for us to argue out in the public. There are internal processes that we need to deal with it. We deal. Like this morning or yesterday I read a little bit about, he's talking about he learned that an officer has been appointed against his position that is being transferred. And as the commissioner, all I have to say is Bauer did not take the liberty to move as I asked him to do so. And I can't sit down and wait for somebody. When I gave an order, I expect my officers to comply with it.
And now a look at the finance news. The Kina closed unchanged at $0.3280 in the interbank market. At Bank South Pacific, your Kina was buying $0.3205, $0.4402 Australian dollars, $0.2876 euro and 35.93 Japanese yen. Looking at commodity prices at New York close, gold, cocoa and copra closed higher, while coffee closed the day lower. Palm oil closed unchanged, while crude oil and copper closed the day lower. And on the stock markets, the Dow Jones closed at 212 points higher, the ASX closed 1 point lower, and the All Ordinaries closed at 0.359 points higher. You're watching National EMTV News. We bring you more local stories right after these messages. Stay with us. Welcome back to the news. A missing road link between Matepi and Gal in South Ambenob of Madang district will be properly constructed after years of government neglect. The roads will benefit thousands in rural Ambenob and will open the door for proper health and education services, plus reviving the local economy.
For years, the people of Ambenob, south of Madang town, have been living in isolation. Absence of proper roads have cut them off from government services.
Last time I had through, I sabe using school picking lo carem all materials. Suppose slowly stop lo classroom, you mix him all grana, you smoke and lo carem all material na come na, lose him narpa time only come back and about.
People carem planting mama got bell long plahap distance. Carem go em saidai, picking it saidai. Planting population lose the declaration.
The road between Matepi and Gal also plays an important role in the local economy of Ambenob. Ambenob is well known for its coffee and cocoa, which was once a booming business, but when road conditions collapsed, it crippled their agriculture business.
Especially back communities like Ward 22, including Matepi, Sanpi, RR, Otaba, Gal, people produce more than 2 tons every 3 months.
One kind of what one?
Now, Ward 1 Transgogol, Ward 21 Ambenob. There's like the area people producing, planting something, but road network not reaching people not have exposed to more resources.
On Tuesday, the Madang MP Nixon Duban presented a check of 400,000 Kina to rebuild and complete the road link between Matepi and Gal. Duban says the government has invested heavily on rural road development to bring services to rural areas.
Government now Blue district, we got commitment to opening up on rural roads. Rural roads are very important. But in town, yes, you got problem blow up to solve. More population is the place.
The 400,000 Kina was given to LPW construction, and work is set to be complete by the end of the year. The reconstruction of the Ambenob Road is into its second phase.
Now people are looking more central service now by reaching the benefit in planting man marine bush. Also now people are looking at the road you come, and the road people can develop in planting something. Man marine people have access, people have resources to expose, but only road service, now people hold him down nice time.
Stanley Over Jr., National EMTV News.
The Asia Pacific Institute of Applied Social, Economic and Technical Studies will be offering medical courses and training to school leavers. This follows a recent Memorandum of Understanding signed in Port Moresby between APSETS and Queensland College of TAFE International in Australia. Eric Harupma with this report.
Asia Pacific Institute of Applied Social, Economic and Technical Studies is providing an avenue for school leavers across the country to further their studies. Since its establishment last year, this institution has offered business, computing and social science courses to school leavers. Apart from that, it also offers technical courses in maritime, aviation and now medicine, which is an integral development part of this country. Its focus is in empowering and developing the brains of this nation and create pathways for them to acquire studies overseas.
With due respect to the universities and colleges that we have in the country, they have done what they can do. But I feel that we really need to do a little bit more than what we have done. And the little bit more thing that we need to do now is the overseas placements for our graduates.
Last week, this institution has signed an agreement with the University of Goroka, giving a second chance for school leavers to further university studies. Today's partnership with Queensland College of TAFE marks another milestone the school is achieving in terms of promoting human resource capacity.
So we see it as a win-win, where our teachers can come here and do some work with the teachers here and vice versa. We'd like to encourage a really, I think, proactive exchange program with students but also with staff. And we think over the next few years we'll achieve that, and I think the results for both PNG and for us I think will be at a very, very high standard, or as I keep hearing today, it'll just take it to that next level. So it's very exciting for us.
Under this agreement, training nurses will undergo 3 weeks of basic training here and another 8 weeks training in Cairns. This will be trial for a period of 6 years. Participated to witness this ceremony is envoy from the Queensland College of TAFE and Department of Health officials. Eric Arupma, National MTV News.
Big things start with small steps. That was the key message at the 2016 Financial Education graduation in Buimo village in the Madang province. Since the start of the microfinance expansion project, successful graduation ceremonies have taken place around the Highlands provinces and in the New Guinea Islands. However, this was the first significant ceremony to take place in the Momase region. Leon Gerari with this report.
More than 5,000 participants of the financial education program graduated today in Madang, the majority of them mothers from nearby villages. Banking the Unbanked is an initiative by the Central Bank of Papua New Guinea, the Asian Development Bank, the Australian government and the government of Papua New Guinea. The microfinance expansion program targets mainly the population in the rural areas of the country and has already impacted thousands of lives. The classes serve to teach these communities the importance of savings and investing, thus building the country's economy. At the ceremony today, the graduates were commended by the chairman of the steering committee, Mr. Benny Popoitai, and urged not to be bystanders while the country's economy grows.
Country's GDP is increasing and is growing fast. But what do we know about GDP? Country gonna go past. But if you are not able to take advantage of opportunities that are given to you, Governor a walking on the road or bridge is creating an opportunity, no spin-off, no projects. If you are not able to take advantage of that opportunity, the rest of the world is flying past you. Now you see now need lo diwa na look loko balus go, sipi go, carry go. Na misi now you need long, coconut stop.
As a major sponsor of the project, a representative from Australia's Department of Foreign Affairs and Trade, formerly AUSAID, shared on Australia's interest to help stimulate PNG's economy.
The Australian government is very happy to be involved with this particular project because it focuses on inclusive economic growth. So giving everyone an opportunity to be involved.
Most of the major financial institutions were present at the graduation to show their support, including Westpac right behind me, ready for graduates to open their accounts after they graduate. I'm Leon Gerari reporting for National MTV News, Madang.
One person is seriously injured and 2 others left traumatized after their 15-seater Toyota Hiace bus they were traveling in overturned on the freeway in Port Moresby. MTV arrived at the scene a few minutes later and spoke to the traumatized driver.
This is the outcome of the crash when MTV visited the scene of this car accident this afternoon. Bystanders flocked to the scene to observe what can be described as a close call for these passengers. The female driver of this 15-seater bus was left traumatized.
Just come from nowhere and bump me backside there. Speeding come and bump me backside, come go over there. Put the brake to you and then bump me go over there. This time, I brake left side and broken.
She said she was driving from downtown. She also picked up 2 more female passengers at Konidobu when they were hit by another vehicle along the freeway. The others sustained minor injuries because both were protected by seatbelt. These women sustained serious injuries. Meanwhile, police are still investigating the cause of this accident. Eric Arupma, National MTV News.
45 tons of relief supplies donated by Japan International Cooperation Agency were uplifted to Fiji today. National flag carrier Air New Guinea uplifted the 225 boxes from Port Moresby to Fiji for the Cyclone Winston victims. These boxes contained mattresses, tents and plastic rolls and were sent from Singapore. You're watching National MTV News. Trukai Sports is next. National Football Stadium, the Hunters' new home. Stay tuned.
Trukai Sports.
Welcome to Trukai Sports. The National Football Stadium will be the Hunters' new home for this year's Intrust Super Cup season, following PNG RFL's discussions with trustees of both the Sir John Guy Stadium and the NFS. This was announced by SPPNG Hunters chairman Graham Osborne.
The Hunters will play 11 matches at the National Football Stadium this year and will have the luxury of calling the stadium their home for 2016. They play the first match at the National Football Stadium later next month against the Tweedhead Seagulls. SP Hunters coach Michael Marum says the National Football Stadium is a world-class facility and to call it home for this season is an honor.
And the first year now we played the Branded game, so good ground. We start training there next week, so yeah. So now we're excited about playing all our 11 games there. So 11 home games, all played there. So yeah.
The NFS trustee now has a big task ahead in terms of managing the stadium. Elijah Lavet, National EMTV Sports.
To Taekwondo, and PNG Taekwondo head coach Andreas Rutten is confident that his fighters will make a strong bid for Rio on the eve of their qualifying tournament, the Oceania Olympic qualifiers, to be held tomorrow. Rutten is happy with the preparations of his 4 fighters, Rose Tona, Samantha Kasman, Max Kasman and Jonathan Pascalis.
The team looks sharp. We had a very good training session all week long. They're very, very focused. For a very short time we had the chance to come together in training. I'm very, very happy with the attitude and how they're responding. So it's all up to tomorrow. The tactics on the mats are working out. Everyone puts their mind together, and I think we're coming home with a very great result and PNG proud. Like 2012, when I was coaching Teresa, I'm very proud again to be on the PNG team as a coach. I say thank you very much to PNG, NOC and the Sports Commission and PNG Taekwondo for trusting in my work and in my ability, and it's just a pleasure again to be here, and in hope I can give you the performance, I can give you a Taekwondo Olympian for 2016 Rio.
PNG Sports Foundation Chief Operating Officer David Awa has confirmed all venues under the foundation will be open to the general public and sporting federations for official use as of tomorrow. Awa says this is part of the foundation's plan in generating cash flow from all venues.
This Saturday we're opening Taurama, the Taurama Aquatics and Indoor Centre. That also coincides the opening of Sir John Guy's and Rita Flynn and Bissini to the public. We basically kept them shut since the games and have had one-off events happening. But this Saturday's opening is for the public to come in and enjoy the facilities as well. So that's all our venues included. But Taurama will be the venue where we will coincide the opening. That includes sports. Look, the venues have been open to sports as well. It's for the sports to come and see us. We have management in place at all the venues. So sporting associations, groups, general public invited to come and speak to our venue managers and our venue teams.
PNG Under-20 women's coach Lisa Cole has explained clearly what she expects from her girls during training. She has made it clear to the team that everyone is fighting for a spot to make it into the final squad. She mentions that finishing drills during training plays an integral part in deciding the final team.
Cole says the players must fight to earn a spot in the team and show their full strength during training.
So every day that they come out, they have to understand that they're trying to earn a spot on the team, and that every day there is an evaluation. So I've talked to them a lot about not just going through the exercises, but doing the little things that make a big difference, making sure they're getting their body turned, they're opening up, making sure that they finish a sprint all the way through the line.
One of the players, Tatori Robert, says being in the camp can be challenging at times, but making it into the team and the starting 11 is what everyone is after.
Represent my country and also to represent my family, my province, and I want to be in the first 11.
The girls have been able to balance training and school by having training sessions in the morning. They were able to attend the Goroka Grammar School for studies, Cole thanked the school's administration for their support.
I'm really excited about the arrangement we were able to get with Goroka Grammar and the way that the principal has been really supportive, and particularly Patty Kelly for his work on making things happen.
Elijah Lavet, National EMTV Sports.
Don't go anywhere. We continue with Trukai Sports after the break. Stay with us.
Trukai Sports.
Welcome back to Trukai Sports. The PNG Olympic Committee is aiming to send 7 sports to the Rio Olympics. These are athletics, boxing, judo, swimming, taekwondo, shooting and weightlifting. Members of PNG's boxing and shooting team, as well as PNG weightlifting president Sir John Dawanikura, were present as the various codes outlined their preparations for Rio.
Members of the media were given rare insights into the potential Olympic sports preparations, as all squads were aiming for qualification in their respective codes. For PNG boxers, head coach Joe Alpha stated the importance of having quality lead-up competition leading to their own upcoming qualifiers, with the prospect now being more difficult considering the Oceania region had been placed alongside Asia as qualifying opponents.
But the boys in the national team playing the overseas, they already know the system of how to score in the computer scoring. Because computer scoring, sometimes it cheats like that, you know. When you're talking about becoming a throw, and then in boxing, another boxing, there's only one will be a winner at the end. So especially like Charlie in the 2012 Olympic qualifying in Melbourne, he just lost in 2 points.
When queried about the quality of opposition the fighters would come up against in the qualifiers, media officer Martin Leary was quick to point out that while Papua New Guinea knew little about their potential opponents, the squad was on track to do well.
We'll do that once he gets to the competition. Once they get to the competition, when they go into the weigh-in, that's when the draw is released. And then following that, then he knows which boxes are in whichever divisions. And for us, it's 4 divisions. So
Chef de Mission Emma Waiwai stated that PNG would not just be at the games to make their numbers. Improvement and raising the standards of the participants was also an important aspect that was taken into consideration.
Different ball game. The Commonwealth Games is a very different ball game. Olympics is the highest, and so yes, each of the sports that's what they need to do to prepare their athletes, and we as the as PNG Olympic Committee, as the owners of Team PNG more or less, we want to make sure that the ones that we're going to take with us to represent our country are definitely going to go and do something over there.
Jeremy Moggy, National EMTV Sports.
To weightlifting, and there is concern that PNG's weightlifting champions are not fully prepared to take the qualifiers to Rio. President of PNG Weightlifting Federation, Sir John Dawanikura, when queried about star lifters Dick Atoa and Stephen Curry, said their preparations were on track but lacked the quality that they had utilized prior to the Pacific Games. He said, however, that as long as lifters met the minimum requirements, qualification was still an option.
The performance of our athletes tomorrow, that will determine whether we have enough firepower to aim for 4th place in order to qualify one male and one female. At this stage, for the first time since I took over in 2011, I'm sorry to say that we don't have the firepower. With Stephen Curry training at home, that's by choice and absolutely no objections. He won 2 gold medals last year. But for him to participate in Rio, it's a necessity and a policy that he must compete in our monthly competitions, which he hasn't been doing. He didn't compete in our maximum lifts last week. Hope he competes tomorrow.
Doubt surrounding the readiness of Taekwondo PNG to host the Taekwondo Olympic qualifiers was settled following the intervention from Sports Minister Justin Tichenko through the PNG Sports Foundation. Minister Chechenko gave the directives to PNG Sports Foundation to assert TPNG's request and assist with budget. The funding support to a total value of 75,000 kina was committed and approved for disbursement. Sports Foundation CEO Peter Chamalili Jr. said the foundation is pleased that they were able to assist Taekwondo PNG in certain logistical areas of this tournament and ensuring all goes well ahead. Taekwondo PNG will host its Olympic qualifying tournament this Saturday, the 27th of February, which is tomorrow. And that concludes our news and sports. The weather details for the next 24 hours when we come back.
Kai Sports. True Kai Sports.
Here's a look at your weather for Saturday. In the southern region, Port Moresby, Daru, Kerema, Alotau and Popondetta, a shower or two expected tomorrow. To the Momase region, Leh, you can expect a shower or two with a top temperature of 32 degrees. Rain Inwa with a top of 32 degrees as well. Madang, Wewak and Vanimo, you can expect fine weather. To the New Guinea Islands region, Lorengau, Kavieng, Kokopo, Rabaul, Kimbe and Buka. Fine weather expected with a temperature in the early 30s. And in the Highlands region, Mount Hagen, Goroka, Kundiawa, Mendi and Wabeg, showers and fog expected over the next 24 hours. To look at the forecast for small ships for the next 24 hours, waters of southern PNG Indonesian border through Torres Strait and Daru to Kiwai Island, Kerema to Yule Island to Hood Point, Samurai Island with waters of eastern and western Milne Bay Islands, with waters of Samurai to Cape Rogol to Finchafen, and with waters of Manots and its western group of islands, sea 0.5 to 1.3 meters. Waters of Finchafen through Vitia Strait to Long Island, including Siasi Island, Dampier Strait with waters of Long Island to Madang, Bogia, Wewak, Aitape, Vanimo and the northern PNG Indonesian border, and with waters of New Ireland and East New Britain and Bougainville, seas 1 to 2.5 meters. And a look at the forecast for small ships for the next 24 hours. The Coral Sea sees slight with southwesterly winds at 10 to 15 knots. Solomon Sea sees slight to moderate with northwest to southwesterly winds at 10 to 20 knots. Bismarck Sea sees slight to moderate with northwesterly winds at 10 to 20 knots. And the Pacific Ocean sees slight to moderate with northeast to northwesterly winds at 10 to 20 knots. Before we go, a quick recap on our top stories. Search continues for Buimo escapees on the run. Correctional Services Commissioner announces the start of investigations, and human trafficking on the increase in Papua New Guinea. And that is it for tonight, Friday, the 26th of February 2016. On behalf of the EMTV News team, have a pleasant weekend, pleasant viewing, good night.